So what we're going to do now is an exercise called meta sounds. It's a brand new experiment that Detta and I made up, which we'd like to try with you, but it consists of 4 smaller parts. So the first part involves these postcards here on the floor. This one's really about kind of checking in with you and your kind of thoughts and your feelings. So just think about your sound. As a musician and as an artist, what kind of sound do you have that you carry with you wherever you go? And have a look at these cards, and we'd like to ask you to each pick one. So just kind of thinking about that. You can walk around and look at them a bit closer, and then once you've picked it, just come and stand back in the circle where you are. Great. Okay. As a next step, can you just think for a moment of a word, if you could think of one word that you could use with this card. So a single word which kind of addresses the card or the idea of your own sound. Just think about that to yourself for a minute. And we're just going to say those words and kind of share our cards with each other. So just showing the card and saying the word, and we'll go around in a circle and just hear that. This is my card, and my word is blend.
Bath. Colourful. Density.
Calm. Intensity.
Within.
Minimal.
Meeting and overlapping.
Great, thanks everyone. I'd like you now to take your card, and we're going to put them in this quadrant here. And then if you could help me tidy up the cards, we'll move on to part 2.
Great, thanks everybody. So we filled one quadrant of our meta sounds wheel. And what we're going to do next is we're going to do the next step, which is another way of tuning into ourselves. But this time we're going to use a little bit of sound. So first of all, maybe we can just kind of loosen our bodies a bit. And just take a moment just to breathe. Maybe just tune into your breathing and into how you're feeling today, physically or just in yourself, what your energy is. And what we're going to do is we're going to express our kind of sense of inner self and energy with an individual pulse that we find for ourselves. So maybe we can just take a couple more moments just to think about what that would be and feel it in ourselves. And then whenever you're ready, maybe we can just actually all place our hands on our heart, one hand on your heart, and just, when you're ready, just tune into that energy that you're feeling today and just give yourself a pulse and just keep going with that pulse. And you can adjust it a little bit if it doesn't feel right. Excellent, really nice. You might start to notice you might start to hear some of the other pulses in the group, and there might be moments when you sync up and the moments when you kind of move away from each other again. And that's cool. We're going to do it one more time, but this time I wanted to ask you to find a different sound for your pulse. Maybe keep it quite short and dry, just so we can hear each of the different sounds and the different pulses in the group. And when you're ready, you can begin. Beautiful. Excellent. Thank you. That's our kind of pulse quadrant there, that kind of sound where we just tune into ourselves, tune into our energy and express it in a pulse. And that's quadrant 2. And we're going to move on now to the third quadrant of the metta sounds. And for this one, everybody needs a piece of paper. So maybe if you take a piece of paper, This part is called tear and fold, and it's something that Tash and I kind of made a few years ago after we'd gone to see the Matisse exhibition in London, and we were really inspired by Matisse using a similar kind of tear and fold technique for some of his paintings. But we're going to do it a little bit different to him. So what we're going to do is take our piece of paper, and it's kind of connected to both the first and the second sections, in that what we want you to do is use your piece of paper to create something that feels like it expresses or resonates with you, either in terms of how you're feeling or how you feel about your sound, or just your kind of personal artistic self or practice. And you have two techniques. You can either fold or you can tear, and you can do both. So you can tear and fold your piece of paper in any way you want to make a kind of expression of that. Does that sound good? Yeah, let's go for it. How's everyone doing? A few more seconds? Yeah? Almost there. Okay. 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 Super. Should we just kind of hold them out to each other just to take a look, first of all? Wow. That's really nice, guys.
That's cool.
Amazing. Okay, so with our tear and fold sculptures, we're now going to kind of put them in this quadrant, maybe kind of across from the postcards, similar kind of area. Yeah, and make sure you're happy with the placing of it if you need to move things around a bit. Great. Okay.
Cool.
Lovely.
We've got one more quadrant to charge, and so this one we wanted to kind of go backwards in time. So what would be nice would be if each one of you could now find a place in the room to stand. Just find a kind of spot that feels really good for you, and it can be facing any direction, and do that now first of all. So find a spot in the room to stand in. Okay. And while you're standing here in this spot, can you cast your mind back to a kind of childhood memory that involves sound? It could be a song from your childhood, or just a memory that has some sound in the background of it. And maybe close your eyes and really let yourself go back in time. Try and remember what you were doing. Were you standing or sitting or laying down? Was it very active? What kind of feeling did you have? What kind of quality did that moment have? And then very gently, can you start to kind of find the sound now, using your voice or your body. And we're going to come from nothing and kind of get more and more present with the sound until it's here in the room. So let it come from quite far away to right here. And just take maybe 2 minutes to find that sound together, each of us finding our own sound and bringing it to the room here.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
find a pause in the sound. Thanks everyone, that's really beautiful. Okay, so if you can just turn around where you are now and we'll all face in. This is our final kind of charge of the wheel. So this is a song, but I guess we went more into a sound. And we've got these 4 quadrants kind of charged now. We have a feeling of our sound as a group and maybe where they're coming from. This one, we have a word and our kind of own thoughts and feelings about it. But what we're going to do is grab some instruments and we're going to use this as a score where we can freely move round from quadrant to quadrant. Spend as much time as you want in one, and then when you feel like you're ready, move to a different one. We thought we'd also put a listen space in the middle. So if you find you need to just take a pause and you want to step out of the sound making and just be a listener, this is the spot for it. Yeah, so it's kind of an experiment to just be really into our own sound and into our own responses to each of these, but also at the same time, we're in an ensemble, we're in a room together, and we've kind of charged this circle together. So we'll just see what happens, and maybe give ourselves 5 minutes or 8 minutes till we feel like it's done. And when you feel like you're done making sound, maybe you could just sit down and we'll know that the piece is done. Cool. Okay, let's grab instruments and then we'll get into starting positions.
Great, everybody. So we've now, as Tash said, we've charged our wheel and we've got our instrument. So let's just take a certain amount of time together just to make some music together in response to this score. And yeah, as you move from each section, it'd be great for people who feel they can move to really physically move around the space too. And when you're done, you can sit down.
Can we also sit down during the piece if we feel like it, or you prefer us to stay up?
Maybe stay up, because otherwise we might think you've finished. But
exactly.
if you want to take a break from playing, you can come and step into the listening area, and then we know that you're doing that. But sitting down is like, I'm done. Cool. Okay, whenever you're ready.